I can't stand to fly.
I think when Superman became one of the songs that recognized the heroes of 9/11, and I performed a concert for New York, I saw how a song can transcend and move people in a way nothing else can. Never could have imagined I'd be singing at Hostage Square, my song OK and Superman for the hostage families, 5,000 people in the nation of Israel. It was a surreal night. I'd never thought I could ever have experience close to performing at the concert for New York after 9/11. But this was very similar. To see the pain of people 6 feet from you holding the poster of their loved one who was a hostage. Also to see the solace of what music can bring in no other way to people that night. I know what's happening on our college campuses. It's disgusting, it's sickening, it breaks your heart. But we need to stand up to that. I went to Cornell and I performed on campus at Bailey Hall. And I sang OK, I sang Song for the Hostages. And it's not gonna be just Cornell, it's gonna be UCLA, it's gonna be Columbia. I'm not Jewish. I'm very new to the Jewish world. And Stand With Us was my first introduction. I'm honored to not only be a soldier in your army, but I'm honored to stand beside you.
Please give a warm welcome to John Ondrasik.
Thanks, everybody. Nice to be with you again. Last year, in a moment of insanity, when I was speaking to your fellow college students, I gave out my cell phone number, expecting not to get many messages. I'd never heard of this thing called WhatsApp. That was my first mistake. But I'm glad I did, because throughout the last year, I've heard from many students in colleges all around the world. Some of you here, we've spoken. My man Zach over there, a fearless warrior. And one sentiment that was basically common with every conversation was how students on our college campuses and our high schools feel abandoned. Jewish students. And that's because they have been, and we know that. But it's been quite a year. There's been a lot of change since I was last here. Certainly, I'm not going to say good news, because there's no good news until the hostages are home, but there's been some positive developments, and there's been some reality where the song remains the same. We saw that again this week at Bernard and Columbia. But what has happened in the last year? Well, certainly on the global stage, Hamas is basically decimated. Hezbollah, a shadow of itself. Iran neutered. It's a good thing. So things are moving in many places in a good direction. But I'll tell you what I fear, what my biggest concern is. I fear that when this war is over, which will be soon, and the hostages are home, that many will revert to a pre-10/7 mindset. Not so much in this room, but we saw it after 9/11. When I was in Israel, I spent some time with Natan Sharansky. Of course, you all know the icon, almost religious figure. And he said something to me that has still stuck with me. He said, 20 years ago, somebody asked him, what's the biggest threat to Western civilization? 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, he said, American academia. And he's right. And he's right. And I'm frustrated when I see, Bernard go crazy and people get assaulted and the, administrators capitulate, unexpel kids. I'm frustrated with all the posts from the usual suspects. We're outraged, we condemn this. We've been seeing that for years. It's empty words. I'm focused on action. Some of you have made decisions that are hard, but they're in the right. Some of you have unenrolled from your schools. Some of you have sued your schools in class actions. You can clap for that. You see what Shabbos is doing at Harvard. The great thing about suing these colleges, you can clap for Shabbos. Let's give him a hand. We'll talk about a hero. It's not just hitting in the pocketbook. When you sue these schools, you have to do what's called discovery. And what do we discover? The toxicity of these administrators. There's great resources that stand with us. I know many of you are working with them. That is critical. I know you parents have stopped donating to your alma maters. You're not sending your kids there. But I want all of you guys to know that you're not alone. 80% of America has your back. If you look at the polls, 80% of America. It should be more, frankly. But you're not alone. You have people that will come to your schools. You have artists that will come to your schools, because that is how we win. I appreciate speeches, I appreciate op-eds, but how do we win? We win with comedy, we win with music. That's how we get to the kids on TikTok. And one thing I've been a little frustrated since I'm laying it all out on the table. There are certain schools, certain Hillels, when you say, you know, we'll come, we'll speak, we'll walk through the bullies. Some of them say, well, we don't want to cause a ruckus. That's a problem, because we need to go on offense. We need to go on offense. We need to walk through the bullies. When I went to Cornell, it's not just to support the Jewish students. It's important. People were crying when I went there. But it also gave people energy and faith to write in their school newspaper. There was an article that went viral nationally. The whole attitude changed. So we need to come, we need to walk through the bullies, and we need to save the kids who've been indoctrinated. We need to save them too. They don't know what they're doing. They're in a cult. And my last thought, last year when I was speaking to you kids, I said, I lamented how unfortunate, how sad it was that you were on the front lines of this battle for civilization. It really broke my heart. You didn't ask for this. You just wanted to go to the school you loved, and here you are on the front lines of the civilization. But a year later, I'm glad you're on the front lines of civilization, because you are in the right, you are brave, you and Israel are frankly saving the world. And we're just here to support you. So again, last year I gave out my cell phone number. This year I'm going to give out Michael Dixon's cell phone number. We're in this together. It's not about Jewish, Christian. It's about human versus evil. All right? Thank you very much. I'm going to forward them to you. Yeah.
So he's going to forward all your calls to me. No, that is not a thing. John, thank you so much. It's always so great to be with you and to have you with us. And I just, before you leave, I just had a request from quite a lot of people. Is there any chance on the planet that we can get you to play?
Do you have like an air piano here or like an air guitar or something like that?
Well, if we did have a piano, would you play?
Yeah, if you had a piano, I would play.
I think we have a piano.
I don't see a piano.
I think we do have a piano.
Where's the piano?
I think it's coming. It's coming. Yes, sirree. He's going to play for us. Yes.
I see a microphone. Oh, my God. Okay. So why they set up this piano, let me just tell you a little bit about this song I'm going to play. This journey for me has been amazing. I have been, frankly, very blessed to become, in some ways, adopted into the Jewish religion. Out of this tragedy, I've met such amazing people, none greater than Roz and Jerry, and everybody at Stand With Us, and so many of you. And I'm going to tell you kind of my experience in Israel, but it started here. It started here a year ago And it just came flashing back to me downstairs because I really didn't know much about what was going on. We had Jewish friends, but I didn't really live the Jewish life. But they asked me to come speak at this event after OK did its thing. And I came, and the first thing is I walked into the room. It was across the hall last year. And I saw all these kids singing, dancing in a circle. And they were singing the song One Day. And I'm like, that's a pretty good song. Little did I know, 6 months later, I'd be singing it with Mattis Yahoo at MIT, which is, yeah. Name drop, name drop. But to see that joy and that energy in such horrible times when you're facing this crazy anti-Semitism on your campuses, I didn't understand it. It was hard for me to put my head around that. And I had the same experience in Israel when I went to Israel. As Roz mentioned, I went over, thanks to Stand With Us, thanks to Joel and Marcy and a few other folks. And I wasn't planning on singing at Hostage Square, but Edom Reichel, name drop, asked me to play, and I performed. But that night, as everybody knew Iran was on the verge of attacking, I heard an announcement that I'd never heard before a show. And I played a lot of shows. And the announcement was, in event of missile attack, please put your hands over your heads and take cover. And nobody left. There were 10,000 people there. I wanted to go run and hide under my bed. Nobody left. And so I performed. I sang my songs, very emotional. And as I walked off the stage, the head of the hostage forum, Rebecca, said, John, you need to be in your hotel room by 11 o'clock tonight. I'm like, 11 o'clock tonight? Why not now? She said, you need to be in a safe room by 11 o'clock. It's about 8:30. I'm like, okay. So we kind of knew what was going to happen. So I had my entourage there, Rick from the AJC, Joel was there, Marcy was there, my friend David Azula was there. And I said, you guys heard? Yeah, we heard. All right, let's go to the hotel. But John, we have dinner reservations. I'm like, ha, 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 you're funny. Let's go to the hotel. Let's go to the safe room. John, I waited 2 weeks for these dinner reservations. And I'm like, you guys are nuts. So we basically negotiated to go have dinner at the hotel, which we did. And I'm looking, it's 9:30, it's 10. I'm starting to freak out. And everybody's at the bar eating, drinking, having so much fun. It's 10:30. I'm like, all right, guys, let's go to the safe room. Well, we'll meet you up there. And my son was there, 24 years old, Johnny. My wife was not happy about that. He was there. And he loved the food, but he loved the girls more. And he was at the bar with David. Everybody's doing shots, celebrating I don't know what. I go to the safe room, 11 o'clock. Iran launches the drones. I'm alone in the safe room. I call downstairs. Hey, guys, Iran launched the attack. Those drones take 8 hours to get here. Come on down. That's who you are. You're a little crazy. But you find a way to find joy in the darkest of times. And I envy that. I envy that. And that is probably why you win. This song's called 100 Years. I'm 15 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment, she feels better than ever, and we're on fire, making our way back from Mars. In 15 days
there's still time for you. Time to buy, time to lose. 15, there's never a wish better than this. When you only got 100 years to live. I'm 33 for a moment. I'm still the man. You see, I'm a kid on the way, a family on my mind. I'm 45 for a moment. The sea is high. We're heading into a crisis, chasing the years of our lives. In 15, there's still time for you. Time to buy, time to lose yourself within a morning star. In 15, I'm all right with you. 15, there's never a wish better than this. When you only got 100 years to live, half time goes by. Suddenly you're wise, another blink of an eye. 67's gone, the sun is getting high. We're moving on. I love your lights. We're moving on. I'm 99 for a moment. I'm dying for just another moment, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. In 15, there's still time for you. 22, I feel you too. 33, you're on your way. Every day's a new day, yes. It's a new day. There's never a wish better than this. No better than this. When you only got 100 years to live. God bless.